Hey guys, welcome to Saturday mornings. I'm so excited to get more baseball stars on the way that I'm deciding to do this early. I haven't even showered yet, so if you smell something, now you know what the problem is. So we'll go ahead and jump into this. Don't worry, we haven't started the season yet. This is just the demo. So the way that we're going to do this here, after looking at everybody's feedback, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start this 125 game season with 6 teams. And so this is probably going to be the project that sends us to the end. Now, just so you know, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams that exist. Now, the big question is, do we just use these 6? It's probably actually the best thing for us to do, is we haven't seen any of these 6 teams yet. The only sort of caveat I have is that Lovely Ladies gives you a ton of money if you beat them. And so on the one hand, like, there's this idea that, well, maybe we should, include them so we can get the money, but I don't know. I think it's probably a little more interesting for us to do it sort of this way. Maybe if we have time for a if we end up like winning a game or something, or if we end up winning a game really quickly, then we play against them. You know what? I just realized one other thing, because I didn't count us. So there's only like 5 of these teams that we're going to include, plus ourselves. So that's what we're going to do. Basically, the way that we'll do this is we'll make it so that we'll include those 5 teams as well as ourselves. And if we have a little bit of extra time, then what we'll do is we'll play against some of the teams that we haven't seen so far. Or especially if we end up like losing really, really badly. That's what we'll do. So yeah, this is a little bit nerve-wracking because we have not seen the likes of some of these teams yet. So yeah, let's see what we can do. We'll start off here with, I forget what this team is, with the World Powers. So yeah, we'll see how we do here. Hopefully I'm doing this in the right order. If I'm not, you can always let me know, and then we'll go turn it around and do it the other order. Now, I have to warn you that it's been quite some time since I've played it against any teams other than the Lovely Ladies, as in like before I started playing this particular save. When I was a kid, usually I would spend a whole bunch of time playing against the Lovely Ladies because they give you the most money. They have a lot of prestige, whereas these other teams don't have so much. It's sort of built in to help you so that you can earn the money you need to earn. If you think about this game in terms of like the way that RPGs are structured, it will make a little bit more sense. So like you can think of, the Lovely Ladies as sort of being like a grinding stage or something like that. Anyways, like I said, if we end up like winning or losing games by, like whatever, 10 runs really early or something like that, then we'll play against the Lovely Ladies again, or we'll play against the other team, the Ghost team. I can't remember what they're called. That is the other team that we don't have in this league. Or we can always play against the SNK Crushers again as well, right? I mean, these are games that should be really, really easy for us to win at this stage. So, if we like, similarly, if we get into a situation where we have like no money coming in at all, I might end up doing that, go back and play a game against one of these teams so that we can get some money. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I think that this team is probably ready to do this. The difficult thing is going to be figuring out what to do about getting pitchers in and getting new players in and stuff like that. And that's the reason why I'm thinking, like, if we get to the point here where we're not making money and it's sort of stalling, I'm going to do a couple exhibition games and try to get some extra money. But at least so far, it looks like we're doing okay. Wilbur. So I think what we're going to do here to start this off is we'll probably play a game against every single one of the teams in the league first. And we'll probably also do a whole bunch of like computer autoplay games as well. And then after that, look at that. So we have pretty good defense, right? And then after that, we'll sort of like check up and see who we can beat, who we can't beat, and we'll make decisions based on that. That's probably the easiest thing to do. And, you know, since I just signed us up for 125 games, this is going to take a little while. I mean, this is going to take, you know, several months to complete. So stick around because it's going to be a lot of fun. You want to see what happens, right? I want to see what happens too. I have no idea what's going to happen. This is that sort of fun and unpredictable side of YouTube where I have no idea, you know, what's going to happen every single day. I don't know. Maybe I'll make another, you know, ridiculous mistake and we end up, you know, I don't know, not scoring any runs or something like that. I don't know. Or maybe Charlie Brown gets a base hit like that. That wasn't bad. So somebody in the comments told me that 5 should actually be named Rerun, but is that true? Is it true that, is that actually the same character? I was always under the understanding that they were different characters, but I can't remember, and I haven't done really my research here before starting this project, right? I probably should have read in a little bit more to figure out, make sure I knew what I was doing. Alright, we gotta score at least something here with the bases loaded. Come on, Shermy. Alright, well Linus will do it for us. Linus always pulls through, right? So much for that. It's all good though. This is still a good sign. The fact that we had the bases loaded and we were threatening to score, that's a really good sign. So in big baseball news, I think pitchers and catchers have completely reported now. So now we can get into the fun part of the spring and get talking about what's going to happen this season, all that stuff. Just to hope that all of the off-season talk about, you know, potential, labor action and stuff like that is not going to have too much of a pall over the rest of the season. We'll see what happens. It's interesting because if you look back at like the late 70s and early 80s, in general, fans were pretty upset about players who were earning tons and tons of money. I mean, the 1981 strike was not extraordinarily popular, and it is kind of a hard sell. Now, the truth is that, you know, when it comes to like the actions of the owners, part of the reason why the fans weren't all that enamored with what was happening or what the players were doing is because fans were paying more money to see players at the ballpark. Now, some of that price increase had come because of inflation, sure, but a lot of it is because the owners increased the prices, right? And so, you know, it's an easy way to sort of like make sure that people get upset about the players is, you know, go ahead and pay them money and then increase the price of accessing the sport. Which is kind of something that we're seeing happening again today, right? I mean, if you want to get, you know, the full out-of-market MLB package these days, you have to pay quite a bit of money. That was the big news that the prices for that increased now that MLB is working directly with ESPN. The real interesting story about all of that, of course, is not necessarily the out-of-market games, but rather, rather the in-market games. Right, because I can't remember what it was called, but the entire, you know, structure of the old, like, RSN networks and stuff is basically dead, and so there are a whole bunch of teams that basically, like, Major League Baseball is going to centrally control their television package, which is really, really interesting, and which is something that's really unprecedented in the history of baseball. We'll see what happens. I mean, a lot of people have talked over time about, you know, baseball needing to have a structure for the TV deal similar to the NFL, which makes sense. It doesn't make sense for the Dodgers, for example, to have a huge TV package, but other teams do not have it because the Dodgers can't play against themselves, right? And if they would try, like, nobody would watch, right? So there needs to be some sort of, you know, cooperative agreement. Of course, the problem is that it's kind of anti-competitive to do that, but probably the easiest way for the league to do that would be to eventually sort of centralize all of the television contracts into itself as its own, like, entity, and then just sort of, like, dole out the money. Like, I'll put it to you this way, if you play OOTP and you start messing around with different settings, you'll find that, like, one of the easiest ways to make sure that there's parity in Major League Baseball is to take away the discrepancies in television or media money. And that's exactly what they did in the NFL a long time ago. Oh, they have Brutus on the bench. They have Zeus. I should stop talking about baseball. I should start talking about this team that we're playing against, man. Jeez, we just got and they have Clint Eastwood as a pitcher. We just got Zeus to ground out to first, man. It's not every day that you can say that. So I would say we have a pretty good team, right? If we're getting, you know, these like massive gods to ground out to first base. I'm not sure who Robert's supposed to be, but whatever. You guys can tell me. You guys can make it up. So last night, in a fit of panic, while I was trying to come up with blog posts for my much neglected blog that goes along with this channel, actually predates this channel, I did a little bit of research again into 1919. I was reading about before the season there was a split between the minor leagues and the major leagues, and this is something that most people don't really know much about. But basically what had happened is minor league teams were really upset because they were still subject to the major league draft. And they decided that they were going to kind of go their own way, and that's actually what happened in 1919. So it's one of those odd seasons where, like, if a major league team wanted to get a player from the minors, they basically had to pay, you know, the market price, whatever it was, right? You had to give them a good enough deal so they'd be willing to sell. You couldn't do the whole, you know, draft them and pay X amount of money for the player no matter what thing. Well, that wasn't a good pitch, Charlie. Where was that one? Anyway, but the other interesting thing is that at least the Southern Association had a... I don't know, if I'd been positioned right, I probably could have caught that. I guess we're not going to win 10-0 today, huh? Interesting thing is that the Southern Association in early 1919 had a rule that said that a team could only have 7 players on it on the roster that had experience at their levels of Class A or above. And that was itself kind of a major sort of like slap to the face of the majors, because you know, you couldn't like just take your players and kind of dump them down in the minor leagues while they were still under contract with a rule like that. So anyway, I'm not sure exactly how all of it ended up. I do know that Van Johnson was threatening the minor leagues all the time and saying, like, you guys are going to regret not going along with us and stuff. In the end, it was the major leagues that regretted it, right? Big part of the reason why guys like Lefty Grove didn't go to the major leagues for years and years is because there was no way for the major leaguers to get at him because that structure had like fallen apart. I know I've talked about this before, but Jack Dunn, who was the owner of the Baltimore Orioles back in the 1920s, was famously reluctant to sell any of his players to major league teams. And the reason why is because he had been forced to sell Babe Ruth back in 1914. Now, he was forced to sell then not because there was a draft. He was forced to sell Babe Ruth because he had no money. That's because there was a Federal League team in Baltimore that was eating into the Orioles' revenue. Or at least in theory, right? There was a competing Major League Baseball team that was probably a little bit better than the Orioles. So anyway, it's pretty interesting stuff, but that helps explain a lot of the things in baseball that are kind of like historical anomalies and most people don't really spend a lot of time thinking about or talking about. Anyway, if you're interested in that sort of stuff, stick around this channel or check out the blog, right? Because this is like the sort of stuff that I like thinking about all day. Genghis. Oh baby, Genghis Khan, man. This is an amazing team. Man, Genghis Khan was like absolutely brutal. Look at how far he hit that foul ball. Oh, he had a good eye too, huh? Yeah, but he can't hit the ball out of the infield. Take that, Genghis. Jeez, overrated. You would think that a team with all of these like famous, you know, historical figures and legendary figures would have a pretty big following, but as we're going to see soon, assuming that we win, it's actually not the case. Actually, this team doesn't give you very much money, so much for that. So yeah, we'll see what comes after this, but yeah, we're good enough right now that I think that if we had to, we could just go like play an exhibition against the lovely ladies to get the bank account up, and you know, and get to the point where we can start crushing teams. So. I was hoping she would run that out, but not quite. This is a shame because I wanted to not have to take him out before he bats. Looks like we might have to do that in the end, though. Robert's not a very good hitter, is he? That was a classic channel moment right there. We gotta make a t-shirt out of that at bat. Who is Orville? Who's that supposed to be? Was there a great world leader named Orville? We got the Hulk out too, right? Alright, well this is as good a time as any to remind you that if you enjoy this, consider supporting me over on as a YouTube channel member, or over on Patreon, or any of those other things. I guess we'll use this guy. So yeah, if you enjoy this, consider doing so. Your financial contribution helps a lot, and helps make it possible for me to keep doing this. And we got a blue base hit, how about that? Oh, that baby's gone, long gone. Alright, there we go. So that gives us a little bit of a cushion. Let's see if we can score some more runs and get ourselves an easy win. And, you know, see what else we can do. Get some money, see how much money we get from this. That came close to going out too. So, yeah, we have a pretty good team, I would say. Except when Linus does that. I don't know if he's just unlucky or what's going on, but we've had a lot of these not so great at-bats from him. See, this is the thing that doesn't make sense to me. So you decided not to take him out for a pinch hitter, but then you end up taking him out anyway after he gives up, you know, a 3-run homer and, you know, a whole bunch of base hits and all this other stuff. Like, you could have taken him out before, right? You probably could have gotten something to happen, you know. Jeez, man, you're throwing at a girl like that? Come on. No, that's the way you want to play, huh? Oh, shoot. Well, that's the end of that. This is probably a really bad idea. Why did I put Spike in? I forgot. He has, like, no attributes. This is gonna be fun. But, you know, we're doing this to give you a moment to remember. There you go. Way to clean up after his mess. I don't know how long we're gonna leave Spike in this game. Anyway, this is the reason why you have to be strategic about this game. You can't, you know, replace all your players at once or whatever. Otherwise, you have to you know, pitch guys like this for a long time. He's okay, but he's not really good enough to, you know, blow these players away, so... Just keep it in on the hands, don't let them get anything they can drive. Got him. So that worked out. Alright, let's see if we can put this one away, huh? Frida is quietly going to turn into a star player. She's got great attributes, and so she's going to be really good. We'll have Snoopy come in for Spike. Well, that wasn't very good, was it, Snoopy? Jeez. Gotta get a base hit, man. Oh, they're not gonna double her up. She's our new Ricky Henderson. Yep, see? I sent her before the pitch, so that helped a little bit. Now let's see if we can make him pay. Go through, go through. Oh yeah. Easy as that. 9-2. Go baby go. Not quite deep enough. Yeah, we have a problem. I forgot to name the rookie too. Jeez, what am I doing? I'm too excited about starting this new league. I forgot that we brought another rookie in. We may need to we may like legitimately need to play a couple of games against the lovely ladies just so we can build up some of these pitchers, because this is going to be pretty rough otherwise. Albert Einstein? Apparently he was a pretty good pinch hitter, huh? Wasn't a very good runner, though. We have 25 hits. This is looking pretty good. Who is Nappy? Junk ball pitcher Nappy. World famous pitcher. Man, look at that. You see that curveball? That one had me falling out of my shoes. Crap, go back, go back. Alright, Marcy's got this under control. See what I tell you. 1 out, 2 more to go. The hook can't deal with her, and so now we've got Solly. Who in the world is Solly supposed to be? I don't know, maybe it tells you somewhere in like the instructions or something. Alright, now we need to look and see how much money we got. And if it's not enough money, we might add on another game here. What do you think? So we win, Charlie Brown wins, 1-0. Franklin had a home run, we gave up 2. It was a little bit ugly. 69,000, nice. Alright, yeah, though I am thinking, let's do this here, and we'll have a little bit of fun with this. So I'll give you a little bit extra today, mostly so we can get a little bit more money in the piggy bank here, and let's hope that we can beat them quickly. This also actually would be pretty interesting because you'll be able to see like the batting averages these players are supposed to have because according to their attributes. So like Franklin there said like 19 home runs, Shermy 22, 309 hitter. Well, that's not going to do anything. Jeez, what happened to that 309 average, man? The other thing I don't know though is like how much money we can get from them when it's not a league game, so we'll figure this out as we go. Hopefully it won't take us forever, but who knows, maybe it will. And then of course Charlie Brown's all rested because this is an exhibition game, so it just doesn't count. Speaking of exhibition games, another thing about 1919 you might not realize is that even after the Major League season started, there were teams playing exhibition games against minor league teams. In particular, Brooklyn played a exhibition game over in Baltimore. Like it was like a week after the season had started. So there's all this stuff that you like don't realize about the sport unless you you know, spend a lot of time really looking into it. You won't find any of this stuff on Baseball Reference or any other plays. Simple as that, alright. There's Pigpen, 48 home runs. Well, he's not gonna hit any home runs if he's swinging at that, man. Good heavens, that was ridiculous. They love throwing at him. I think they're all scared of him. Anyway, this reminds me of the very beginning of this channel. Remember when we were trying to beat the SNK Crushers in the beginning and it was really rough because, you know, they kept winning all of the exhibition games and we barely stood a chance. It feels like a long time ago. It was only about a month ago. Of course, here we are now against the lovely ladies in an exhibition and we can't even score any runs. Oh, well, that's not going to do it. Alright, we have to stop swinging at her wild curveballs that are way out of the strike zone. Here we go. That's not going to do it. Alright, well, so much for the idea that we were going to, like, crush them, like, right away. It should have been a catch, right? I don't think I saw that bounce. Stay in the park, please. Alright, well, we're doing a pretty good job of giving up a whole bunch of base hits. This didn't happen the last game we played. We were playing against a team that was a lot better than this. We're giving all the fans their value for their money. Probably should have just gone to first, right? There were 2 outs. Nah, whatever. There we go. Yeah, they have 4 hits, we only have 2, so I don't know. Maybe something's going on. Maybe the sun's in my eyes or something like that. The sun is actually kind of in my eyes because I have a window right in front of this computer desk. I've also got a bird feeder out there. I like watching the birds come over and entertain me. But I'd be a lot more entertained if we could get a base hit. This is looking pretty bad. I think the computer knows I was trying to get some extra money and wants me to try to earn it. Interesting, so they call that one a ball. I swear half the time they call that a strike. No, it's all good. This will give you sort of a more tense and exciting game to round all of this out. It's not all about winning, right? It's about creating a product that people want to watch. Oh, got it. Came close to getting her, not quite, just a little bit behind. We might go behind in this game. Oh, they didn't even try to score on that. That's interesting. Alright, well, no problem. Go, baby, go. There we go. So, with one swing of the bat, we finally have the lead. And couldn't come any sooner, about a half hour into this video. Of course, we had a full game before this, but this second game has felt very, very long to me. There we go. Funny thing about this game is that different teams have learned like different types of base hits that we'll get through. Jeez, man, that was really, really bad. Wait, to foul the ball off like that, that's gotta really sting. I hope Violet's wearing batting gloves. Just barely, man. That was not a great throw from our shortstop. I forget who we have at shortstop. That was the thing. There was someone in the comments for the review of Baseball Stars that I made who was complaining about that play. Well, it wasn't that type of play, but about plays like that, right? Where you're like, who do I control? And then you don't know where you're supposed to dive and stuff like that. That's part of the game, unfortunately. Probably one of the biggest weaknesses of the fielding system. As I've said before, it'd be a lot better if it were sort of zoomed out a little bit more. That's, I think, the biggest advantage that RBI Baseball and so on has. I thought she had like a 0.91 batting average. What is she doing cranking the ball like that? Alright, so he's still got the shutout going. And he'll come up this inning so we can take him out. Go, go, I think she can beat it now. Not quite. Not quite. We still need to give her a little bit more speed to beat that one out. Frida actually has better batting stats than Violet. Alright, good times. Yeah, the bench doesn't look too bad. It will be sad when we do finally get rid of center field 1, though. Yeah, man, I mean, just look at this bullpen. This looks pretty ugly, doesn't it? So we're going to have to spend this money to get the pitchers up. That's for sure. And we do have a rookie that we need to name that I forgot to do at the very beginning of this episode. So we'll see what we need to do there. Yeah, I think the big focus this time around is going to be on trying to improve the pitchers and trying to make them look a little bit better in this game via relief pitchers. All right, let's get a couple more runs here, man. We've just been dry in terms of base hits. There we go. Trying to do that station-to-station game. There's Linus with the key base hit. I knew he could do it. He's not fast enough, though. And we're not going to get much speed for him anytime soon, so here we go. 2-0. Ah, shoot. Well, this is going to remain a close game. Man, we just can't get any base hits. It's all good. So I wonder a little bit, I wonder if the better approach to making this team and sort of getting stuff mixed up and stuff, if it wouldn't have been to try to get the pitchers sort of like jacked up, I guess, at the same time that you get the hitters up there. I think that we had a major focus on the hitting. Part of the reason why, actually, is because this team came with pretty good pitching right out of the box. At least for the early rounds, but I do think that we need to do a little bit more to try to get this bullpen up, because what you're going to see pretty soon when we start playing against the really good teams is that we're going to get crushed. Alright, no problem. We just do this one step at a time. Well, that's not going to do it. So we end up with nothing out of all of that. And now we kind of have a problem. Yeah, these pitchers definitely need more curveballs. I know part of the question was, you know, do we put a lot of emphasis on like drop pitches, or do we put a lot of emphasis on like, you know, curves and stuff like that, or on speed? You kind of need a little bit of everything. I do think that for pitchers, though, I think that stamina is probably the most important thing. That's the thing that hurts you, I think, the most. Sort of like how for hitters, you kind of need both batting and hitting, but anyway, there are little tricks you can do as well to make it so things work, and getting running up pretty high is also helpful. So yeah, it's kind of hard. You kind of, to have a lot of success, you need everything to be pretty good, right? So this is the way it is, right? You have players who have big holes in their game, they're not going to do you much good. Oh, go baby, go. There we go, that's a little bit more like it. Now I feel a little more comfortable about this. Man, for a while there I was thinking, man, we're gonna even compete? This is not looking good, but now it's looking a little bit better. 4-0 here in the 8th. Should have put in Juana, that's my favorite. Kelly's got dark hair too, but not quite like Juana. Oh, that's not gonna do anything. Jeez, we keep popping these up. So Lovely Ladies are not supposed to be a better team than World Powers, but we scored a lot more runs against World Powers, so maybe I was wrong, right? Lovely Ladies are really supposed to be like one of those teams that you can sort of like beat up on. That's why we're doing this, and you can get a whole bunch of money from them. We definitely have not been beating up on them, that's for sure. That pitch, believe it or not, was going to be called a strike. That came right at me, and then it sort of swirled back around over the strike zone, which is totally crazy. Remember Matsuzaka and the gyro ball? That was there's a pretty old baseball reference for you. I mean, that's like 2006. People were talking about that. And somebody had doctored a video that was over on YouTube that was supposed to be showing him throw these like impossible pitches that like bent in a way that was not humanly possible, and it turned out that they were actually altered videos. There we go. Let's get Marcy to throw a couple gyro balls. Alright, one more inning to go. So this has been a much longer video than originally anticipated, but we might have a couple of videos here in the early going that end up being a little bit longer, just because I think we're a little bit desperate for some funds. I know that's going to sound kind of crazy when you look at this team and you think, oh, this team looks pretty good, but we need this team to be a lot better. We're going to play against like the American Dreams. We need this team to be at a much better place than it is right now, or this is going to be really ugly. Well, at least we beat out the double play. It could be worse. Marcy actually is a pretty good hitter. I'm a little bit surprised at that. Alright, that'll bring up Lucy, and hopefully we can get a rally going here. Or not. There we go. There we go. Alright. Now it's Franklin. He's got some home run power. He's got some pop in his bat. Juana, yes! Oh yeah. Juana, our favorite pitcher. Linus is so mesmerized by her appearance that he's swinging at balls way out of the strike zone. Oh, there we go. Oh, they don't look so tough now. Linus was caught in no man's land, didn't know where to go. Alright, here we go, Pigpen. That was a strike? Really? It's not even close to the plate, man. Jeez. Juana's got that voodoo magic. Alright. No, I'm not gonna put in the rookie who doesn't even have a name yet. I can't even remember if it was a boy or a girl that we got. Nice, good job. Good job, pitcher B1. Way to catch that ball. Everybody's got to clean up his mess for him. I can't get on this guy too much because we got to start this guy tomorrow, so against another good team. Alright, I just realized too that I neglected to autoplay the computer game, so I know that some of you want me to sit down and like watch some of them, but I think we're gonna hold off on that at least at the beginning, at least until we see like what is going on, which team is up, and so on. Then we'll have our little sort of game of the week or something approach. Man, we gave up 10 hits to them, man. That was kind of ugly pitching on our part. Marcy gets the win though, so it's good for her. And Shermy and Linus both had home runs. And look at that. Oh, only 68,000. See, it's less if you're not playing in a league. So we only end up with 68,000 out of 56,000 attendance. So there's a couple of things that we need to do. First thing we need to do is we need to get through some of these games. So what we're going to do is we're probably just going to go up in diagonal, sort of like that. Don't want to watch the game. Yeah, no surprise. Notice though that there were only 32,000 people there, right? So that sort of tells you kind of what's going on. And we don't want to watch this one. And for this one, there was also only 32,000 people there. So anyway, we're going to need to do a lot of exhibitions to get this to work. Now, who was it I was going to put? All right, I'm going to have to cheat a little bit here. I'm going to have to look this up to remember who it was that I wanted to make the pitcher in that slot. So let's go look through this and see. This is a guy. So I think we want Woodstock. Now the big question still is Woodstock male or female? We want Woodstock and Joe Schlabotnik to take up these last two slots. That's going to be Peppermint Patty. So who is it that we have left? I think we've hit just about everybody. Probably Rerun would be the other one. Yes, I'm looking this up right now. 555-95472, who is usually referred to as Five, is a minor male character known for a strange name in the comic. Given that his surname is his zip code, this would imply that Peanuts is set in either Sebastopol or Freestone, California. So there's a little bit of trivia for you. Anyway, so that's a different character though than Rerun. So we will have Rerun receive a name. Anyway, now you know why I've been so insistent on making sure that these players have really good reputation, right? Although he doesn't have anything, man. But we want to get good reputation so that we can offset the fact that like there's no, money from these other teams. The teams that we're playing have pretty pathetic reputations. So that's the first thing we're gonna do. I say reputation, I mean prestige. So first thing we're going to do with him is we're going to up that prestige. There we go. Yeah, we want that to be up all the way. And we'll worry about pitcher B1 later. We need pitcher B1 to start. This is where it's going to be really tricky because we need to have a pitcher who's really good. I think about going into the rookie market. I don't know, but let's focus first on trying to get these pitchers to improve a little bit. So Rerun's probably the first. Let me see here. Right, Spike's at 20,000, Marcy's at 25. So we can Rerun up to 20,000. Jeez, man, this is not giving me anything. Anyway, we know that we need stamina. All right, we'll do sort of like this. So we got him up to 20,000. Spike's up to 20,000 as well. Alright, so we'll go ahead and give Spike a little bit more. And then we have a little bit more 20,000 to spend. That'll give us 30,000 left. 5,000, 25,000, and that's what we have left. So, yeah, the thing that I'm thinking about, this is going to be Peppermint Patty, this is going to be Woodstock, this is going to be Joe Schlabotnik's going to come over here to even things out. I think we're going to stick with pitcher B1 for now. I do want to just see and make sure that we got our prestige up all the way. everybody, including players that aren't really doing much. It looks like we do. Basically, we're going to get it pretty soon to the point where we're just like selling out every game. Right? There's only a couple players that don't have their prestige maxed out. Don't have enough money to do that. The reason why I'm looking through this and thinking about this is I'm wondering to myself, like, at what point do we make the change for Peppermint Patty? Let me know in the comments what you think. I think I'm going to go for center field 1, getting rid of him and replacing him with Woodstock first. And then we'll do Peppermint Patty next. The thing that I keep thinking about is I want to make sure, I think we'll spend a little bit more, one more trying to get this player up. I want to make sure that we have a good pitching staff to cover for the fact that Peppermint Patty is not going to be very good right out of the start. So, let's buy one more. Yeah, see, we only get 2 from it. Yeah, and we have him up to 25,000, 25,000, RC's at 25,000. So, for the next couple games, like, I think the first emphasis is going to be trying to get these pitchers up to about this level, 40,000, and then we're going to, we'll probably, like, I don't know, we'll probably buy a new player here, get the prestige up next time after we win, and then we'll get these pitchers up a little bit, and we'll kind of go slowly. So, yeah, it probably wasn't the best idea in the world to not have the lovely ladies as part of the league. I mean, there's a lot of money, like, we're kind of leaving off the table because of that. But then again, it's going to be more interesting this way. And, you know, we only need to play, like, a certain number of times to get enough money to get to the point where the players are really competitive. So, yeah, I mean, there's 5 other teams. We played against one of them, so in like a couple days, we'll play against the American Dreams for the first time. It's just that my hope is that we can play against them and not lose because of the 10-run rule, like, right away. So in order to do that, we need to have really good pitching, we need to have solid defense, and then we can really start grinding. So anyway, let me know what you think. Let me know what ideas you have down below, and my guess is that we'll have some pretty long videos coming up soon, so look forward to that. Talk to you guys later.